Alright, what is up everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster 2. We're of course in Midwest Adventure once again, back with the Log Flume Dark Ride. And we're getting close to the finish line after this episode. I think we might potentially, don't quote me on this because it could potentially be wrong, but we might be done by the next episode, as we only have a little bit left after this. We get all the way through the splashdown and the next turn. So this is almost getting pretty close to complete. So all we have left to do by the end of this video is the station and the little bit portion of the ride that leads back into the station. And then of course we're going to have to decorate the exterior as well, so I'm not entirely sure how long that will take, so that could be another extra episode of itself. We'll have to wait and see, depending on time and everything like that, but I definitely don't think it will take more than 2 episodes or about an episode and a half, but we'll have to wait and see where we're at on that. So this little turnaround section leading up to the drop is going to be a very simple area. I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a pitch black section that where you can't see much, you just kind of hear some noises and stuff like that. It doesn't last super long or anything, and then we get to the drop, which I wanted to do a little bit more with when it came to like the effects. However, I just couldn't really think of a good solution on how to make like a bodied apparition. Basically, I mean, in the dark it's kind of hard to see the particle effects in Planet Coaster, unfortunately, so that didn't work very well. So we kind of go with just the eyes getting close to the log, or the flume, or the log, or the vehicles themselves, right before it plunges down the drop, and we have a little bit of a fire effect as well. And then, of course, we do like a little bit of a splashdown, and then we go into our last few turns of the ride, and then the ride will be over. So yeah, we're kind of almost to the finishing line. We're actually at the big part of the ride with the drop, and it's been a pretty fun little project to do within this project. So I do want to go back in and maybe add some like evacuation doors and everything into the ride. I want to try and make it a little bit realistic. And when I was done with this episode, we were sitting at just under 3,000 pieces here, so we're still on a decent pace, I think, to get to that goal of being able to post this individually on the workshop. So if you guys want a nice little Log Flume Dark Ride, you can actually add it to your parks if you would like to do so. And again, if you didn't see the last episode, I did mention that the park itself is now on the workshop, the work in progress file. So if you guys want to go and download the park, I haven't updated it just yet, but I might, maybe by time you check it out, it will be updated with the everything that we've done in this episode. So just keep that in mind that I will be updating it. So if you're on console, the piece count is going to continue to go up. So make sure you have, if you want to see it, again, I'm not going to, unfortunately, as much as I would love to, I'm not going to be catering to the console players when it comes to piece count. I'm going to just build my park, and if it's beyond the piece count limit for console, unfortunately you guys are going to be a little bit out of luck, so it'd probably only be able to work with PC only. And again, I'm not on console, therefore I don't feel like I need to cater to the console community when it comes to that. That's what I make like a lot of my blueprints for, so I do make individual blueprints as well. So for instance, I'm going to try and keep this under 4,000 pieces so you guys can still install that. So when it comes to my parks, I'm not going to cater, unfortunately, to the console people. As much as I want to, you guys are an amazing community in of itself. I've seen some amazing console creations, and it just blows me away how people can fit, because they have to get creative with their piece count and everything. So again, but since I'm on PC, I don't have a limit, and so I'm just going to stick with that, you know. Like there's no reason, I don't even know what the limit is for console players, so I couldn't even like do it if I wanted to, really. So unfortunately, that's just how it is, and because consoles can't handle as much as PCs, so that's just how it is, unfortunately. I think it's amazing that console players get to play the game regardless, so I think we should be grateful for that. But anyways, enough babbling on about that. Let's talk about the effects that we're working on. I wanted to do like this tumbling rock effect to kind of look like, oh no, we're gonna get hit by this rock right before the drop, and then you get hit with those glowing eyes heading towards you right before you go down the big drop and to the big splash. It's not even a big splash, honestly. I'm surprised it didn't make much of a splash, which kind of was interesting, but I did kind of fiddle with these triggers for a while, because you cannot like set the time of how long something rotates. So if you do a slow rotation, it's like 30 seconds of rotating. So I had to do like a fast rotation there, because the interval between the boats are less than 30 seconds, so therefore it wouldn't trigger on the following boat. It would only do every other boat, which is not ideal, so we wanted to trigger on every boat. So I made it spin a lot faster than what I was going to, but you know, it's alright. And this is one of the first times I actually used like, because you can attach the rotating, or you can attach like the animated pieces with animated pieces, so you can have like those extra dimensions. Like I can make it rotate and move at the same time. Like you have that ability to attach rotation pieces to rotation pieces, and you can like continuously do different and be really creative and create a lot of cool animations with those. As for the darkness of the interior, it is looking pretty good. I've been testing out and kind of watching the POVs a little bit of, there are a couple spots where it just kind of randomly has some light spots, but honestly, it works okay. I think there was actually a spot here in the dark section, where the pitch dark section, it kind of gives it a little bit of a foggy vibe, with some slight light a little bit, and it actually looks pretty cool. So I'm not too upset with it, even though you would prefer it to be dark, pitch dark, but it worked out in our favor in the end. I think it's going to be fine. I'm trying to pay attention to that as well, you know, to make sure that the interiors are as dark as they can be. And I wanted to build like this little bit of kind of like this little window bursts into flames as soon as you go down the drop, just to give a little bit more of a fun factor to that drop. And then we add a light at the drop that kind of does a strobe effect at the bottom of the drop, so you get that little strobe like you're about to go into this splash, you know, which is pretty cool, which a lot of rides will have that little strobe effect, which is pretty cool. And this shaping of this building, I'm starting to try and do a little bit on the exterior, so we don't have to do too much in the end. That way we can keep that manageable, so I don't have to do so much exterior work, because the back side of this building is going to be bland, and that's going to be done on purpose because it is a backstage building, and it's a big warehouse building. You know, it's a stage building, you know, for a show building, basically. And the only parts that are going to be decorated are the parts that the guests can see, and that's how true it is with pretty much every dark ride there is. Like, the front that you see is just a facade, and it's not really illustrates the rest of the building. The rest of the building is kind of hidden to the public eye as best as it can be, except for like employees. So I wanted to go ahead and cover up some of these fighting textures instead of like fixing the fighting textures. I figured it'd be easier just to cover them up with another texture, and I think it makes the building look just a little bit better in the backstage areas anyways. Even though it's going to be very empty and bland in most of those spots, I'm going to add some like backstage details and such like that, which I still need to add in some of the sections that we did today. But I was kind of testing out here the interior of what it was going to look like over here. So that's what this looks like right now. So yeah, in the end, all we have left is this last little turn around into heading back towards the station. And this was a little bit of a difficult part because it is uneven here, because we have a small little dip down to get it back into the same level as the station. So I did do kind of like this little stairway heading down there, and we do kind of do our little concrete walkway that goes around. I want to make it to where, like, if they have to do an evacuation anywhere, they're going to be able to do it, which is why I want to add some, like, emergency, or not really emergency exits, more like evacuation exits, so that way they have a place to go and they don't have to walk through the entire layout or track. You know, it kind of has a little bit of functionality to it at the same time, so we're going to try and figure that out a bit. So a lot of, like, the upper levels, I don't know if I'll go as far as, like, creating, like, stairways that are not occupied by the ride, but we might have those evacuation doors throughout the ride, and you can use your imagination to see, like, those lead to, like, stairs that lead you back down to the station area, so you can get out of there. I might even do, like, some exterior parts where there's, like, some stairways, so it looks like you exit maybe out of a door that so there's a little bit of functionality at the same time. So I did a little piece count there to see where we're at. We're still in good shape, again, under 3,000 so far, but for this episode, that's gonna about do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more amazing content like this. Hit that join button if you want to see these episodes early, because my members get early access to all my videos, so appreciate you guys' support so much, and we're almost done with this amazing dark ride. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, and goodbye.